evening, and welcome to Palestinian International Broadcasting. We bring you the main news lines on the 136 days of the ongoing Israeli genocidal massacres and the atrocious crimes committed against the Palestinian people in Gaza. Intense Israeli bombardment from air, land and sea continues to be reported across much of the Gaza Strip, resulting in further civilian casualties, displacement, and destruction of civilian infrastructure, especially in Khan Yunis and in Deir al-Balah. According to the Ministry of Health, at least 107 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli strikes across Gaza in the past 24 hours, taking the death toll to 29,082 since October 7. Additionally, a total of 69,028 others have been wounded since Israel launched its devastating campaign in the Strip. And Israeli forces are preventing ambulances and civil defense crews from reaching some of the wounded and people under the rubble. According to the Ministry of Health, it says that 9 massacres were committed against family in the Gaza in the past 24 hours. Now we bring you alarming developments from Gaza. Amidst devastation, the Nasser hospital compound is facing dire circumstances. Training Commission's forces persist in repurposing the hospital into a military base, jeopardizing the life of patients and medical staff. Currently, 25 medical staff members and 136 patients with a Nasser medical complex endure dire conditions without access to basic necessities like electricity, water, food and oxygen. The absence of critical medical resources further exacerbates the plight of patients, placing their lives at imminent risk. According to the Palestinian Ministry of Health in Gaza, Israeli forces have arrested 70 medical personnel, including an intensive care doctor and the director of the surgery, and 8 patients died due to the depletion of oxygen. Despite efforts by the World Health Organization to evacuate patients to other hospitals from urgent medical care, obstacles brought by the Israeli Occupation Authority severely hindered these efforts, prolonging the suffering of those in need. Furthermore, in our news, the situation in Al-Amal Hospital in Khan Yunis continued to be critical following a 28-day siege by the Israeli military. On the 19th February, PRCS reported a decrease in fuel reserves to generate electricity for high-risk patients and a near exhaustion of food supplies. Also in the news, public health concerns are reportedly mounting across Gaza, disproportionately affecting women. This due to continued bombardment, the lack of essential food and water supplies, the collapsing health system, and limited access to those in need of urgent assistance. The UN Population Fund, UNFPA, highlight those 500,000 cases of communicable diseases, such as acute diarrhea, have been reported across Gaza, emphasizing the particular vulnerabilities facing women. Everyone in Gaza is hungry, including 50,000 pregnant women with malnutrition, making them more susceptible to diseases and less able to recover. And discovering the immense risk facing pregnant women in Gaza, UNFPA warned if the bomb don't kill pregnant women, if diseases, hunger, dehydration don't catch up with them, simply giving birth. Also in our news, in Rafah, Israeli Navy fired shells near the tent of displaced Palestinian people, especially in the Masawiyah area, causing several injuries. Israel has threatened to invade Gaza Rafah by the start of Ramadan, the holy month, despite international pressure to protect Palestinian civilians sheltering in the southern city of Rafah. And also, furthermore, the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, says that Rafah in the southern Gaza now houses half the population of the BCS Costato enclave. Rafah is one of the most densely populated places on earth, and according to UNICEF, many of whom have been displaced multiple times due to the war, and they must be protected, and they have no safe place to go. Moreover, UN experts today expressed grave concerns over credible reports detailing severe human rights violations endured by Palestinian women and girls throughout the Gaza Strip and the West Bank. According to these reports, Palestinian women and girls have been subjected to arbitrary executions in Gaza, often alongside with their families members, including children. And in reports they say that they are deeply troubled by reports of deliberate targeting and extrajudicial killings of Palestinian women and children, even in locations where they sought refuge or while attempting to flee. Alarmingly, some were reportedly holding white flags when they were killed by the Israeli forces. Additionally, the experts have sounded the alarms regarding to arbitrary detentions of numerous Palestinian women and girls, including human rights activists, journalists, and aid workers in Gaza and the West Bank since October 7th. Many of these individuals reportedly suffered inhuman treatment, including being denied essential items such as menstrual pads and food and medications, and subjected to severe physical abuse. In one particularly egregious incident, Palestinian women detained in Gaza allegedly endured exposure to harsh weather conditions without shelters or sustenance. And in our news, according to Israeli Incubation Prison Service, there are nearly 9,000 Palestinians in Israeli incubation prison, including 3,484 administrative detainees, 39 persons held without trial. These figures do not include detainees from the Gaza Strip held by the Israeli military forces. Up to 1.7 million people have been displaced across Gaza Strip, mainly multiple times, according to UNRWA, following intense Israeli bombardment and fighting in Khan Yunis and Deir al-Balah in recent days. A significant number of Palestinians have moved to Rafah, where the influx of internally displaced persons have overwhelmed the capacity of health and water, sanitation, and hygiene. And as the humanitarian crisis in Gaza escalates, urgent international action is needed to protect Palestinian civilians and to uphold the human rights. The ongoing suffering of Palestinian people demands immediate attention and interventions from the global communities. Thank you so much for joining us in Palestinian International Broadcasting.